Alright, I'm ranking all Sekiro bosses from least hard to most hard. Alright, starting off, we're probably gonna put the Divine Dragon at the I'm hard tier. The Divine Dragon is probably quite possibly the easiest boss in the game. This boss is supposed to be easy as it is a gimmick fight. For the first phase, you just have to fight a bunch of punching bags, and you can easily clear them by doing a jumping death blow. On to the actual main entree, this boss is a left fight where you don't even have to deflect. You can easily just sprint and grapple towards the lightning, and you easily take no damage and destroy his health bar. Even with that combo he does near the end, it's a move that you don't even have to deflect. Overall, this boss is just a gimmick fight, so I understand why he's pretty easy. On to the next one, I'd probably put the Scurry Monkeys. I'm not even gonna go in depth on this one. It's just a puzzle boss. It's just higher than the Divine Dragon because I'm too stupid. Alright, moving on. This boss is the first main boss in the game. The obstacle you have to get through to get to Isshin Castle. He has a lot of openings at the beginning. When he's screaming, you could get a few hits in. If you hit him enough a bunch of times, he can get stunned, so you could get a few hits in there too. You could grapple to him and get some hits in. His attacks are pretty slow, but they're kind of hard to tell when they're gonna hit. However, you do get the benefit of having a ton of openings to heal because he keeps riding away in the distance. One thing I hate about this fight is that the camera gets fucked up every now and then if you're too close to him. In the end, Gyobu just is the least hardest of all the Sekiro bosses, not counting the Divine Dragon and Folding Screen Monkeys, of course. On to the next one, I would probably put Lady Butterfly right above Gyobu. Lady Butterfly is a completely optional boss in the game, but the reward you get for fighting her is pretty nice, as she gets you like an extra revive. She can be the first boss you kind of have to fight face to face. Her attacks are pretty easy to deflect, and if you stay aggressive enough, she'll do a counter attack where she kicks, and you can easily deflect that. She also mixes her attacks with a sweep attack, so occasionally you have to jump so you could deal some extra posture damage and dodge, of course. Some annoying things about her is that if you don't have the shuriken prosthetic, she can just waste time by hovering in the air. Ghosts can also just be summoned by her during the second phase, and when this happens, it's pretty much just a time waster. This also helps her regain her posture, which can be irritating. Sometimes she does this ultra fast combo where she just spams attacks, and honestly, you can pretty much deflect the whole attack by just spamming the deflect button. If you can beat Lady Butterfly, then you could probably beat Sekiro. The next one on the list is probably going to be Genichiro. To new players, this guy is basically LeBron. At first, when you fight him and you haven't been deflecting at all the whole game, well, now you have to learn. Genichiro tests all your skills on how to deal posture damage. First, you gotta spam attacks. You really need to stay aggressive on Genichiro if you want to have a fun time. Otherwise, he will shoot you with his bow or close on you. Eventually, he will counterattack, and then you can deflect it and keep attacking again. Once you get into the rhythm of attacking and deflecting, you're just going to have to watch out for his other move. When he jumps in the air, you can deflect when he is going down. Then he follows up with either a thrust or a sweep attack, which you can either Mikiri or jump to deal a decent amount of posture damage. His ultimate combo, where he attacks you with a 1-2 delay and then spams attacks, is the hardest thing to deal with. You can either learn how to deflect the combo or run away. I suggest you learn how to deflect it, as it is so satisfying to fully deflect, and it also deals a lot of posture damage. Finally, he introduces lightning, which is a blessing, but not to those who are seeing it for the first time. Genichiro truly is a test of your skill, and he becomes a really easy boss compared to the other bosses in the late game when you finally understand them. I would say that's the hardly hard tier done. Moving on to the Corrupted Monk. I would put the Corrupted Monk in kinda hard. If you fight the Corrupted Monk thinking you're gonna have a good time, since it's only one phase, then you're mistaken. The Corrupted Monk's posture has the fastest regenerating posture in the game. Well, that's what I believe, at least. Seriously, their posture bar is going down while we are still mid-Mikiri. Like, what the fuck? That's why you have to attack the Corrupted Monk's health bar first before whittling down their posture. The Corrupted Monk's attacks are pretty telegraphed and easy to deflect. The Corrupted Monk does have a flow to it, and it kind of feels like a rhythm game when you're deflecting the Corrupted Monk. If you want to make the Corrupted Monk a lot easier, you could hit them with the Mortal Blade, as it will deal health damage to them regardless if they block it or not, and then you can finish them off by deflecting their attacks. So what's harder than the Corrupted Monk, you say? I say it's the True Monk. If you liked fighting the Corrupted Monk, then you'll probably like fighting the True Monk. This fight is just the Corrupted Monk all over again, but this time their posture is actually normal. The catch is that There are 3 phases now that you have to do. For the first phase, it's just the Corrupted Monk all over again. For the second phase, the Corrupted Monk teleports a bunch, and you just have to grapple around the map to avoid getting hit. Then it's just the Corrupted Monk again. You can even kind of cheese them and do a death blow at the start of the second phase. You can even do a death blow at the start of the second phase, which can completely skip that phase. Finally, the third phase, where the Centipede comes out, is when it kind of gets crazy and hard. Not only can the Corrupted Monk kill you with a fucking whatever her weapon is, while it is just the Corrupted Monk moveset, now you have to dodge the Centipede to avoid getting terror. But you also have to watch out for a few new moves as the Monk is more erratic because of the Centipede. Overall, the Corrupted Monk is a fun boss to deflect, with the third phase being more focused on dodging and deflecting at the same time. Alright, next up on the list, we have our first inner boss. It's not inner Isshin, it's not inner father, it's inner Genichiro, baby. So I wonder what would happen if you give Genichiro some more moves. Well, the result would be inner Genichiro. Take everything I have said about Genichiro before, and now give him some moves that penetrate your health bar if you don't perfectly parry it. Compared to regular Genichiro, inner Genichiro now has the Sakura dance, which is a move that will hurt your health bar if you don't successfully parry it. If you thought you could just run away again from his ultimate combo, inner Genichiro will do another combo chasing after you. When he is shooting his bow, you better watch out because he might do a follow-up. And finally, if you think he successfully reversed his lightning, think again, because he just reversed your reversed lightning. With these new moves that you have to perfectly parry, he definitely becomes a harder boss. However, at the end of the day, he is still Genichiro, and like I said before, everything that applied to him before still applies now. Alright, so I believe that's the kinda hard tier done. We're now gonna be moving on to the hard tier, and the first hard tier boss that I would put on there is probably the Guardian Ape. So if you're thinking that you mastered the deflect and believe that you can finish the whole game with ease, then you would be wrong. Introducing the Guardian Ape. An erratic, unpredictable monkey who likes to fart and throw shit at you. Cause seriously, this boss is a dodge heavy fight, but you also need to deflect his attacks. However, deflecting his attacks is bullshit because the Guardian Ape is so fucking loud and unpredictable. Thankfully, there are some moments where you hit him enough and he gets stunned, giving you an opening. Well, once you thank LeBron for finally destroying that health bar, don't celebrate yet, as this motherfucker is still alive, but this time with a fucking sword. Not only a sword, but a centipede that can inflict terror too. Nice one, From Software. Thankfully, with the monkey actually having a sword, it's a lot easier to deflect their attacks. Also, when you deflect that downwards attack the monkey does at the end of his combos, you get a pretty nice opening, so that's a plus. Just make sure you are ready to run away as fast as possible, because when that centipede screams, get ready for some terror, bro. If you think this boss is stupid, well, just wait till further down the list. After the Guardian Ape, I would probably say the next hardest boss would probably be the Shura bosses, Emma and Isshin. So if you decide to follow your father and go down the Shura ending, you will face Emma and Isshin as the final bosses of the game. For Emma, her attacks are slow and calculated, and it is better if you watch her moves and deflect accordingly compared to spamming deflect when she gets close. Her grab attack can be dangerous, so if she puts away her sword, make sure to run away as far as possible. So, well, Emma's just an appetizer, but now we have to move on to the actual meat of the fight. Isshin Ashina is the main boss in the fight, and you have to be aggressive but controlled with your attacks. What do you mean by being aggressive and controlled? It's because he can dodge your attacks and counter them. That's probably the most dangerous part about Isshin. If you're playing too offensively, he counters so fast that it's so difficult to play defense. Moving on to his second phase, he decides that he's a firebender now and combines his attacks with fire. However, I find that this makes the fight a lot easier because he can easily just dodge it and get some free hits. I would say that his hardest combo would probably be when he sets the whole area on fire, and then he just pulls out his sword, unleashes a flurry of attacks straight out of an anime. Like, where the hell did that come from? So despite Isshin's old age, he still puts up a difficult fight. Moving on from Isshin Ashina, the next hardest boss would probably be the great Shinobi Owl. I can't believe you would betray your own father like that. Oh well. As your punishment for betraying your dad, now you have to fight him while he is pulling out the most bullshit tactics to ever come out of his ass. You wanna heal? Say goodbye to that. You wanna see? Say goodbye to that. You wanna trust your dad? Pause. Say goodbye to that because he will makiri you. Have I even mentioned the poison? The firecrackers? The smoke? The shurikens? Goddamn, this boss just pulled things out of his ass. No wonder this is Miyazaki's favorite boss. Oh, I also forgot to mention that his posture regen is so fucking fast that you have to focus on both his health and posture. Combine all that with his fast ass attacks and you have Owl. But I gotta say that beating this boss is so satisfying. I sure do hope that there aren't any other versions of him. I would probably say that's the end of the hard tier. We're probably just gonna be moving on to the hardest fuck tier. And guess what? The first boss on the hardest fuck tier is Owl Father, baby. There's another version of Owl. Let's fucking go, baby. Man, this boss is difficult, but I find him so unbelievably fun to fight. Starting off with the first phase, it's just a pure sword fight with your dad. Pause. But seriously, this first phase has no bullshit in it. Just you and your dad fighting to the death with swords. What makes this more difficult is how much more swift and aggressive Owl is. While he no longer has the bullshit from the first fight, it feels so much harder as it feels like he is always on your ass. Because he is always on your ass, I find it best to counter it by always being on his ass. This fight truly tests your skills and decision making, as you either choose to dodge or deflect his attacks, as you need to destroy both his health and posture to finally death blow him. On to the second phase. Just imagine everything from the first phase, but now he can unleash his Owl powers. What that basically means is that now he can teleport and spawn behind you, throw a fire Owl at you. He even brings his shurikens back. Combined with all this, I would say Owl is truly a challenge worth overcoming. Next on the hardest fuck tier list, it's the final boss of the game, Genichiro Way of Tomoe and Isshin the Sword Saint. Isshin is a professional gooner, as he tells you to come at the very start of his boss fight. Anyways, enough being goofy. First of all, I'm not even gonna talk about Genichiro. Even with his own Mortal Blade, bro is still a punching bag. Like, Genichiro is actually washed, or he was never good to begin with. Moving on to the actual Sword Saint. He is the ultimate test on how well you can deflect in this game. His attacks are delayed and calculated, so spamming the L1 button, spamming deflect, it won't work, man. If you stay too close to him and aren't prepared, he might unleash a quick combo, and that is just the first phase. Moving on to the second phase, bro not only pulls out a spear, which I thought bro was supposed to be the Sword Saint, and a Glock. Bro is named the Sword Saint and uses a sword for one phase? Like, what the fuck? This second phase is the most difficult part of the fight. Not only does he own a Glock, but he also has wind powers now. Since when did he become an airbender? Combine that with some of the hardest attacks to deflect, and you can understand why this phase is so difficult. For his final phase, it can either be his easiest or his hardest phase. If he spams lightning, then GG for you. But if he doesn't, well, good luck, because he has all his moves from his second phase, plus some new moves and a shotgun. Like, what the fuck? Isshin the Sword Saint? Why are you called the Sword Saint if you're not gonna use a sword? Isshin the Sword Saint is the pinnacle of Sekiro, and it truly shows you how far you have come and how developed your skills are. Alright, so we got 4 more bosses. 2 inner bosses and 2 bitch-ass bosses. And the first bitch-ass boss that I believe is harder than Isshin is fucking the Headless Ape, bro. What the actual fuck is this boss, man? Okay, first phase, nice and easy. It's just a Guardian Ape second phase again. Like, alright, who cares? Guardian Ape second phase. Moving on to the second phase. What the fuck's happening? He's calling another monkey? No, seriously, what the fuck? Who at From Software decided it was a good idea to put Guardian Ape phase 1 and phase 2 in a gang fight? Like one fucking monkey is bad enough, but now I have to deal with 2? Like, I'm not even gonna keep talking about this boss because it just fucking pisses me off on how bullshit it is. Well, I'm just gonna move on. Finally, for what I believe is the hardest main boss in the game, it's the Demon of Hatred, man. Yo, FromSoft, I think you accidentally put the wrong boss in the wrong game, because seriously, in a game that is so fully focused on deflecting, why the fuck is this boss fully focused on dodging? That makes it so much more difficult. But you can parry his kicks. Bro, that's the only thing you can parry, man. You have to dodge everything else. One attack I hate the most is when he throws fireballs at you. Like, if I'm being honest, I had to pull out the umbrella for this fight when I was recording footage for this shit because of how bullshit this fight is, man. Did I forget to mention that he has 3 goddamn phases? Phase 1 and 2 are pretty much identical, but when you get to phase 3, Lord have mercy. Bro starts to spread fire everywhere and he realizes that he can extend his arm. He just starts spinning that shit like a fucking Beyblade. Meanwhile, there's fucking fire everywhere. Like, How am I supposed to deal with that bullshit? I think this boss fight makes my brain hurt, and it is definitely deserving being called one of the hardest bosses in the game. Moving on to our final two inner bosses. They're going in the hardest fuck tier, baby. I just gotta say that these two bosses are interchangeable. Inner Isshin is definitely currently harder for me, but Inner Father is basically on the same level. For Inner Father, just imagine Our Father and make that worse, because somehow Inner Father is way faster and he can teleport a lot more. Not only that, but he can also throw his owl sideways and straight, which can throw you up. And then his new hardest combo is his flurry of attacks while teleporting, and then it usually finishes with a sweep or an overhead strike. Compared to regular Owl Father, this boss is a lot more hectic, which gives it a spot on this list. Now for Inner Isshin, he is the same as Isshin, but this time he has black wind powers now. No, they're not black wind powers, it's the Mortal Blade. I'm just realizing that right now. Not only that, but now he has a new move where you have to jump, parry, and then you either Mikiri or parry again. I also feel that he can sometimes cancel his attacks, which can kind of throw me off every now and then. Because sometimes I'll be fighting this boss and he just be canceling attacks. Like, where the hell is that coming from? Overall, that is the list. And if you ask why I can rank this list the way that I did, it's because I played the game. I also have the platinum and have played over 100 hours in the game. If you guys like the video, please leave a like and share. If you want to see more, subscribe. I also stream on Twitch every now and then. Link will be in the description. Thank you again for watching.